It's Derby Weekend 2015. On Friday, May the 1st, it was Oaks Day. I headed out to Gulfstream. First winner on the Churchill Downs card came in the second race. It was a maiden claimer, going 7.5 furlongs on the turf. I liked Killer's Partner, who exited 2 good seconds here at Gulfstream Park for Michael Maker. Right to the front, clear into the lane. Here came the closers.
Killer Partner's still there by 2. Saucin trying to weave up on through. Vouch4Kitten is tiring. Katita's on the outside. Lift River was stopped. 16th out. Killer Partner. Here comes Saucin. Final try. Killer Partner. Saucin.
Photo finish. Double the bet. $40 to start off the day. Nice. In the first of the major stakes race, in the 6th race, is the Grade 3 Edgewood on the turf for 3-year-olds. I liked My Year Is Day, who is an importing European, and I also liked Todd Pletcher's Feathered, who had been on nothing but dirt races and had been a good second in a Grade 1 last year, and I'd been chasing her in 3 straight races. Today, she was scratched out of a dirt race on Saturday to run here on the turf, and I almost changed my bet, but then I thought, nope, I'm going to stick with My Year Is Day, who went off at 7-1.
On Quality Rocks can't get by. It will be Feathered, and she goes coast to coast.
Oh, should have gone with Feathered. In the next race, the 7th, it was the Grade 1 La Trionne. I was torn between My Miss Sophia, who was a good second to Untappable last year in the Kentucky Oaks, and Molly Morgan, who was a horse for the course. I thought they'd both be a good price, and I went back and forth, and then I thought, you know what? My Miss Sophia was new to the Belmont barn, and for him to bring her back off the layoff in a Grade 1 spoke to confidence. So I went with My Miss Sophia.
It's Molly Morgan in front, reaching out for the wire. Molly Morgan up the rail to victory.
Oh, Molly Morgan scores. That's twice in a row the other horses won. In the 8th, I like number 7, Honor Code. He was being ridden by Javier Castellano and had won the Grade 2 Gulfstream Park Handicap from well off the pace. He was going to have to run down Prontico from the Todd Pletcher barn. I went back and forth on the 2, and I thought, Honor Code, just too good. He was well back, and as they came through the stretch...
Prontico fights on, down to the wire, together!
Oh, 3 times the wrong choice. In the 9th at Churchill, it was the Grade 3 Turf Sprint. I thought I would get a bit of a price with the mare, Good Deed, who had been my choice on the undercard at Gulfstream Park on Fountain Youth Day and had all kinds of trouble, was a good second. Well, I was torn between Good Deed and a horse that I'd won with and then missed with last time out, Power Alert. And in the end, I thought Good Deed would be a little bit better of a price. I thought she was sitting on a big race. And so I went with Good Deed, who went off as the 3-1 favorite.
Into the last yard, Power Alert, something extra, undrafted, closing late on the outside. Here's the wire, Power Alert has won.
Again with the other horse. Finally, it was the Grade 3 8 Bells, and I thought, here, I've got the winner. Bob Baffert, I thought, was sitting on a big weekend, and I went with number 1 Callback, who last time out had won the $200,000 Sunland Oaks, but was disqualified. Well, the other horse that I was thinking about in this 7 furlong event was Promise Me Silver. Promise Me Silver had won for me at Oaklawn when she won her 7th consecutive race, but she'd never tried graded company. So I went back and forth. I'm like, you know what? Callback from the Baffert barn had already won a Grade 1. I went with the Class Edge.
To the center of the track, and now these 2 are going to take over. Promise Me Silver trying to stay unbeaten. She's in front by a length and a half. Callback chasing her home, and from far behind, Scat Beans goes third to the outside. Promise Me Silver still there, and Promise Me Silver doesn't know how to lose. She's 8 for 8.
Oh, again, the other horse. The big race on the day, the $1 million Kentucky Oaks. I like number 12, Stellar Win, and the other horse that I liked was Lovely Maria. Lovely Maria had won the Grade 1 Ashland for me, and her jockey, Kerwin Boo Boo Clark, it was his first Grade 1 win in over 12 1,000 mounts. Man, that's a lot. Whereas Stellar Win had won back-to-back graded stakes, including the Grade 1 $1 million Santa Anita Oaks out west. But what I liked best about Stellar Win was that Santa Anita is a speed-favoring track, and on both those days, Stellar Win came from well off the pace. I thought that just set her up perfectly for the Kentucky Oaks. So I went with Stellar Win, who went off as a tepid 7-2.
1 furlong to run, and Lovely Maria and Kerwin Clark have taken the lead, and they're pulling away by 3. And then comes Shook Up on the outside on the Chatterbox. Lovely Maria and Kerwin Clark have won the Kentucky Oaks.
Wow. Every single race on Oaks Day, the big stakes races, the other horse won. And so that brought us to Saturday, Kentucky Derby Day. Heading into Derby Day, I had pretty much resigned myself to the fact that this would not be like last year. Last year I had scored big with Untappable on Oaks Day, and then with Wise Dan on Derby Day, and I'd had over $200 in profit for the weekend. So I went out thinking that I just want my bet of the weekend in the Kentucky Derby to win, and I'd like to cash some other tickets. So as we got out there for the Kentucky Derby, we had watched 2 races on TV, and then we got out there just in time to see the 5th race, which was the first of the graded stakes. It was the Grade 3 Pat Day Mile. This used to be known as the Derby Trial, but Churchill Downs had figured that people weren't running 1 week before the Derby in a 1-mile, 1-turn race as a prep for the Kentucky Derby anymore, so they moved it to Derby Day and named it after the all-time leading rider. I like Todd Pletcher's undefeated horse, number 6, Competitive Edge. He won his comeback for me at Gulfstream in a listed stakes, and I thought this would be the first time going a route of ground, but it was a 1-turn mile, and I thought he held a decided edge over the field. So I tripled the bet on number 6, Competitive Edge.
They hit the top of the stretch. Hillbilly Royalty surrenders to Competitive Edge as they straighten away. Pain and Misery is fighting on, but is still second with 1 furlong to go. Farther back, it is Lord Nelson as they come inside the final 1/8 of a mile. And it is Competitive Edge opening up to lead by 3, now by 4. And Competitive Edge, spectacular once again.
Oh,
the 3-length winner.
First win on the day, and he set a course record doing it. Competitive Edge in the Pat Day Mile. The 6th was a turf race. It was a Grade 2 American turf for 3-year-olds. We were going 8.5 furlongs. I like number 11, Divisa d'Oro. This horse had been an impressive last to first winner in his maiden 2-back. And then in the Grade 3 Palm Beach, had traffic trouble and was flying on the outside and was 3rd, beaten less than 1/2 of a length. I thought the race was wide open, and I thought maybe, just maybe, I'd get a bit of a price. Sure enough, he left the gate at better than 8-1. So he hit the far turn, he was in dead last, and the jockey asked him for his run.
Tuba's off the turn in front. Here comes a lot on the outside. Luck of the Kitten is stopped in behind horses. Conquest Typhoon, Royal Sun, Davisi Darrow is flying down the crown of the course. But in the meantime, a lot got the jump and opened up by 2. Davisi Darrow coming with a flying finish. Davisi Darrow coming after a lot. Davisi Darrow up in time.
How exciting, flying at the finish. And the best part, $19.20 on the payoff. Cash for almost $50. The 7th at Churchill, the 3rd of the stakes races, was the Grade 1 Humana Distaff. Everybody's favorite was going to be Judy the Beauty, who, I like Judy the Beauty, but she's never been one of my favorites. And in this spot last year, she had run 4th. Just didn't seem to handle the track very well. Well, she'd gone on to have a great year, and she won the Breeders' Cup, and she's making her comeback here again, and I thought this is a good time to play against her. I was going to go with Todd Pletcher's Sweet Whiskey, but she scratched to run on Oaks Day. So I looked around, I thought maybe I should just pass, and I thought, nope, I think Dame Dorothy, the other Pletcher horse, has a real good shot here. So I went with number 3, Dame Dorothy, who was the 2nd choice at
1 furlong to go. The champion's in front, Judy the Beauty, but Dame Dorothy's taking it to her. Dame Dorothy on the outside. Judy the Beauty fighting right back. Judy the Beauty, Dame Dorothy. Dame Dorothy got it.
3 stakes wins in a row. man, I am having a good day. I had just a couple bets at Gulfstream, and one of them came in the 5th right before we went to leave. It was a made special weight for 3-year-olds, and Chad Brown had the obvious favorite in here. I just thought, I'm just not so sure that if she was this good, she would be racing at Gulfstream. She'd be in New York. So I looked for a bit of a price, and I found that number 6, Semblance of Order. Her 2 turf efforts had earned buyers that were nearly as good, and she was listed at 6-1 in the program. I doubled the bet on Semblance of Order. She made a move on
the outside and Farrell Bob, and they're at the top of the stretch. Here's Semblance of Order down the center, trying to get to the leader, Giants Passion, and far outside an Amigo. Semblance of Order takes the lead. Amigo's going to try to track him down when it matters. Semblance of Order's almost there. Amigo on the outside. Semblance of Order hanging on.
My next winner paid $11, and with the double investment, I collected $55. Man, I am having a good day. That brought us to the Grade 1 $2 million Kentucky Derby. I have said ever since the Arkansas Derby that American Pharoah was the Derby pick for me, and he's the most confident Derby pick I've had in my entire career as a handicapper. My write-up on him, I wrote that he is the bet of the weekend. I was so confident in him that really, as I watched the race, I was more anxious than I was excited as the race unfolded. But as the race unfolded, I thought what would happen is he would sit just off the pace of his stablemate Dortmund, who was undefeated. And I thought as they hit the far turn, the 2 of them would lay it down. And the race played out almost exactly as I thought.
Rounding the far turn, and Dortmund is the leader. He's on top by a half length, and Firing Line confronts him. And American Pharoah has come under a ride as Firing Line takes the lead outside of Dortmund. Here comes American Pharoah, and he sweeps up on the far outside, and they're into the stretch, and it's American Pharoah who has taken the lead on the outside. In between horses is Firing Line. Dortmund is down at the rail as they come into the final furlong. American Pharoah, Firing Line not done yet, and these 2 come into the final 16th. It's American Pharoah in front, Firing Line. Dortmund is 3rd, Frosted is 4th. Coming to the finish, American Pharoah and Victor Espinosa have won the Kentucky Derby.
Oh yeah, American Pharoah, 100 to win. Oh my, it's a big day for me. Man, it was a great day. So on the day, on Derby Day, I had 5 big winners, and my totals for the day, over $300 in profit, which means my Derby weekend was even better than last year. And the best part is, American Pharoah will come back in the 2nd Jewel of the Triple Crown in 2 weeks at Pimlico in Baltimore, where this guy will be there to watch the Preakness.
Did I win? Son of a bitch! I won! I won, son of a bitch! Son of a big fucking flying, son of a big fucking flying whore! God likes me! He really, really likes me!